What if the world's most populous nation started shrinking, twice as fast as expected? China's population is already declining, slowly. But imagine a scenario where that decline accelerates at double speed. Fewer births, rapid aging, shrinking cities, empty factories, rising labor costs, and a demographic shockwave felt across every continent. In this video, we explore how a rapidly shrinking China could reshape the global economy, supply chains, geopolitics, technology, and the future of world power. This isn't just about numbers. It's about what happens when one of the largest human engines in history begins to reverse. The demographic collapse. China's population peaked around 2022. It has been declining slowly since then, but in our scenario, the rate of decline doubles. What does this mean? Birth rates are falling from extremely low levels to historically low levels. Death rates are rising sharply as the elderly population grows. China is losing 10 to 12 million people a year instead of 5 to 6 million. By 2050, China's population will no longer be 1.4 billion, but closer to 900 million. This means the loss of approximately 500 million people. This creates three immediate pressures. 1. A shrinking workforce. Factories are operating with fewer people, which increases wages and reduces production. 2. A large aging population. China is becoming one of the oldest societies in human history. 3. A collapsing pyramid. Grandparents rather than parents. Parents more than children. A demographic structure that challenges every segment of society. This is no longer population decline, but population freefall.
Economic implosion or reinvention. The Chinese economy is built on a single powerful engine, a massive workforce. But while the population is shrinking twice as fast, factories are struggling to find workers. Wages are rising. Exports are becoming more expensive. Foreign companies are moving to India, Vietnam, Indonesia, and Mexico. China is losing its status as the world's factory. GDP growth is falling from 5% to 3%, then to 1%. It's turning negative in some years. China's real estate market, a source of wealth, is beginning to collapse. Ghost towns are on the rise. Housing demand is shrinking. Property prices are falling. Local governments are losing revenue. But it's not all negative. China is accelerating automation, AI-driven manufacturing, robotic factories, digital governance, and smart logistics. If any country can replace its workforce with machines, China has the infrastructure to do it. The question is, will China collapse under demographic pressure, or will it recreate itself as the world's first robotic supereconomy?
The future of megacities. China's megacities, Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, were built for continuous growth. But in our scenario, populations fall rapidly. Rural depopulation speeds up. Small towns empty first. Even major cities start losing millions. Public transportation revenue drops. Infrastructure becomes oversized and underused. You begin to see entire districts with half the residents, thousands of empty apartments, aging communities without young workers, schools merging or closing, subways running below capacity. Yet some cities adapt. They transform into hyper-automated hubs, AI-managed smart grids, elderly-friendly longevity cities, and global centers for robotics and biotech. China's megacities don't disappear. They evolve into some of the most technologically advanced urban environments on Earth. But the social cost? A silent, aging, shrinking urban world. Global shift in power. A China shrinking twice as fast doesn't just affect China. It reshapes global power. Here's what happens internationally. 1. India becomes the world's largest workforce. India's population keeps rising, giving it the labor advantage China once enjoyed. 2. Southeast Asia becomes the new manufacturing center. Vietnam, Indonesia, Philippines, and Malaysia gain factories, jobs, and foreign investment. 3. The US regains geopolitical momentum. China's demographic weakness slows its military and economic expansion. 4. Africa becomes the young continent. Africa becomes the world's major source of future labor and economic growth. 5. Global supply chains reorganize. Companies diversify away from China to avoid dependency. China remains a powerful nation, but demographic decline forces it to shift from quantity to quality, from biggest workforce to smartest automation, from factory of the world to laboratory of the world. The two possible futures. If China's population shrinks twice as fast, two radically different futures emerge. Future 1. The downward spiral. A collapsing labor market, a shrinking economy, a stressed welfare system, empty cities, fading global influence. This is the path of demographic pressure overwhelming economic adaptability. Future 2. The technological superpower. AI replaces low-skill labor. Robotics dominate manufacturing. Automation stabilizes productivity. China becomes the world's leader in synthetic population replacement. Cities redesign for elderly safety, efficiency, and comfort. In this future, China doesn't fall. It evolves into a post-labor superpower.
A world where China shrinks twice as fast is not a world without China. It's a world where China is becoming something different, more automated, more technologically advanced, and more determined to maintain its global role. The question isn't whether China will shrink. It will. The question is, how will the world adapt, and how will China transform? If you want more in-depth future scenarios like this, don't forget to subscribe to the next What If episode. Thank you for watching. See you in our next video.